prophets. And it's easy, sometimes it's easier just to pick a Jesus who's going to say what you want him to say rather than actually go forward with the real Jesus. But there's only one that we're actually going to get somewhere with, and there's only one that's actually true God. And it is a very narrow way. It's the way of the cross. And so 1 John 5:19 through 21 says, "We know that anyone born of God does not continue to sin. The one who was born of God keeps them safe, and the evil one cannot harm them. We know that we are children of God, and the whole world is under the control of the evil one. We know also that the Son of God has come and given us understanding so that we may know him who is true, and we are in him who is true by being in his Son Jesus Christ. He is true. He is true and eternal life." And so we're walking in a world that isn't our home while we're becoming more and more prepared for our home that is above this world. And God alone can do that. And sometimes we forget why Jesus came in the first place. And so I'm going to just go, this is a pretty good, to me it's encouraging, even though these are some strong words. I'm going to jump over to Isaiah 61. I'm going to read verses 1 through 4. And just remember that this is why Jesus came. This is actually the first sermon he spoke after he started his ministry. "For the Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because he has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, the opening of prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor, the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to grant those who mourn in Zion, to give them a beautiful headdress instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, a garment of praise instead of a faint spirit, that they could be called oaks of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. They shall build up the ancient ruins. They shall raise up the former devastations, and shall repair the ruined cities and the devastations of many generations." So if you look at why he came in the first place, this is the population he came for. The poor, the brokenhearted, the captive, the bound, those who are mourning, those who are sitting in ashes, those who have a faint spirit. I think we can all relate to that population. The problem comes when we think we're more than that. We are more than that in him, but in and of ourselves we're not. So if we can relate with this, then we get to be part of who he calls the they. They, because we have been this, we get to join with him in building up the ancient ruins, raising up the former devastations, and repairing the ruined cities and the devastations of many generations. As we are one with him, this is what he does through us when we recognize our true nature and we recognize the nature of the one who is abiding in us. So also in Matthew 9:12, who did he come for? He said, but when he heard this, he said, "Those who are well have no need for a physician, but those who are sick." So the fact that we recognize that we're sick and we need him, it automatically makes us able to receive him. All of those who said, just choose Jesus and you'll have your best life now. When we talk about the false prophets and we talk about those who think that the life here is easy and that the way is, easy to get into, those people did not prepare us well for the time that we're in right now. Because it's easy to follow a Jesus that is not making you go to a place where you're going to be buried. But it's hard to follow the one that is, where literally you're going to be walking on this journey with him, and there's going to be pieces of your self-life along the trail, but as there's this sprouting and overcoming new life in you as you go. But it's not easy, it's hard. And it's okay that it's hard. And that's why we need each other. It's hard to become something brand new. It's so much easier to cling to what you know and to who you've always been. Just as a plant does not think it will, just as a plant does not think or will its way to growth, it is a response to the environment it is in. So we give Christ the right environment in our hearts, and he will grow. He'll grow us in grace and truth. The fertile soil of a tender heart, watered in the word, in the sunshine of his light, letting his spirit search our hearts and minds. I mean, I say it again, that I wake up every day crazy, and I know the only difference between the old Rhonda and the new Rhonda is I know I'm going to get to him, and he's going to make it well with my soul, because he's been doing it for all these years. And because he's been doing all these years and he's making it well with my soul, I can go out in confidence in him after I've spent time with him and manifest him in the world. But if I didn't have him, I don't know where I would be. I really don't. Soil is dark and dirty, and yet it's what God uses to prepare us through the environment to be ready for the seed to be fertile. I was reading about soil this morning. You know what it's made of? It's made of rock. It's made of clay, something dry, something hard. It's made up of a lot of organic material. You guys know that gross stuff that we don't want to mention, and even some decaying things. If you look at what soil's made of, it's pretty humbling, but it's also made of air and water. And just the right combination, it can cause amazing things to grow from it. His seed is his truth. And some of us may be going through some scarification, but we can have hope because life is going to spring from that. Every seed has a little tiny mark on it where it was once attached to a source and it became disattached to that source. In heaven, if you think about 10 billion years from now, we're still going to be alive in heaven. And everything about us, we maybe will remember this world. I don't know if we will or not. I think that world's going to be so real, and this is going to be such a memory. But every time we look at Jesus and we see the scars, we'll remember this world, and we'll remember how much he loved us to redeem us from this world. That we'll remember that he decided to become disattached from where he was so that he could attach us to who he is. And he'll be wearing those scars for all eternity. He'll be wearing our scars for all eternity. And I'm just going to close with a poem that I wrote a while back. It's based on the scripture, Isaiah 51:14. He who is bowed down shall speedily be released. So, come tread the carnal places, Lord, etched upon my soul. Turn the tables over my king, fill in every home. Come tear down all the walls I built, leave no stone unturned. Till up all the fallow ground, till your truth is all I yearn. Then plunge your holy hands in me, till every piece is torn apart, and all that there is left of me is the fertile soil of a new heart. Then tread over me once more, my king, crush me under holy feet, till all there ever was of me is wholly obsolete. Then come plant your garden here, in what is left of me, that precious fruit may nourish souls and change eternity. And if a weed called self should sneak into this garden you adore, till up the fallow ground again, tread over me once more. Crush me under holy feet, till there's no more me, or until my feet tread holy soil for all eternity. Okay, that's it. And Jesus, thank you. that it's so painful, but it's so beautiful what you do in us, Lord. I even thank you that you know the recipe to each of our breaking. You know what it takes to make us well done and good and faithful servants. That when we stand before you and see you face to face for real, that we will not be ashamed. That you know how to help us learn to let go of this life so we can lay hold of you who is our life. I thank you, Lord, that you tread over us, that your feet do in our hearts what we have no strength and no desire to do, Lord. And you're doing a better work than we could ever comprehend, and we don't fully understand, but we say, come, Jesus. Come anyway. We want to be holy yours. We want to be holy because you were worthy. We thank you, Lord. And I pray that if you do come this week, Lord, that we are ready, Lord. And that maybe this week you use us to help other people get ready too. We love you, Jesus. It's in your holy and precious name we